if you were moving, if God told you you were moving, where would you pick to live?
I would pick to live on a mountain. I would pick to live on a beach.
A beach?
Because then I can play in the ocean and make friends.
Oh yeah, that might be fun. Do you know that one day God told Abraham,
Who's Abraham?
oh, we're going to learn about Abraham in just a little while, but God told Abraham, you need to move, Abraham. Start packing. So if you were Abraham and God said, you can have all this land as far as you could see.
This wasn't even here since Abraham.
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yeah. If he said, not all of these buildings, but the river and stuff was here. If he said, if you could have all this land as far as you could see, what would you pick?
I would pick a road. I would live on a road.
You would live on a road? Where would you live?
A beach.
A beach? I don't see a beach here, but maybe there was a beach where Abraham was
I
living.
would live on the river.
You would live on the river?
I would be on like a little tiny raft with a
Yeah.
cupboard.
So we can see the river all the way on our left.
Yeah. And our right.
And if you keep going all the way down here, you can see the river all the way down there on the right.
Hey, Miss Julie.
Wow. I wonder how far Abraham could see. Yes?
Wouldn't it be cool if we lived on the ocean?
That would be cool.
Where
There's a whole town down there. Our house?
No, our house is way over there.
Yeah, way up there. I wonder how far Abraham could see. He could probably see all the way around him.
Don't see Joel's house.
This is the river that we saw when we were way up in the air up there on the
Hey,
hill.
Miss Julie.
What?
See that stick?
Yeah?
See those sticks over there?
Yeah?
See? It looks like an alligator.
It does look like an alligator, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Look how pretty the river is. Who would pick to live by the river?
I want to live by the river.
You want to live by the river?
Uh-huh.
What would be good about living by the river?
Beautiful view, and if it gets warmer, you can probably go swimming in it.
Yeah?
And you would go fishing. And you would see the Loch Ness Monster.
Who would pick to live in town? What if you lived in town? That might be kind of fun. You want to live in town?
You can't go outside without a umbrella.
Oh, you're right. That might be a problem.
I want to try walking down the street by myself.
Do you think there might have been places that Abraham was afraid to go to? There might have been places like that he was afraid to go. But he decided to obey God and go wherever God took him. Somebody might want to live in the woods too. Who would want to live in the woods?
Me.
That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Okay guys, this is the furthest place away that we could see when we were looking on that big hill that we were looking out and looking at all the land.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know if anybody wants to live on a mountain, but this is the way up the mountain. Let's see if we can make it. Maybe we can make it to the top. Climb the mountain. Yeah.
Yay, we made it! Yay!
We made it all the way up. That was amazing, right? This is the last spot that we could see from all the way where we started. When we started our view, this is the last spot we could see. Back down the hill we'll go, all the way home. All right, I got some boxes, so we gotta get stuff out of the cupboards and into the boxes as quick as we can, okay?
Okay.
All right, get the boxes up.
I can hand them to her, and she can hand them to him. And I have no idea what this is.
Well, that's our food. We gotta take food with us when we move. Gotta put all the canned food in a box, okay? Wait a minute. A child in a box? I guess we gotta take you.
No! I just like being in boxes really.
We need you to help.
I will.
Okay,
You need
get.
a crock pot next time?
It looks like a Instapot. Yeah, we need to take it, but take it out of the
You
cupboard.
need to take everything.
Gotta take everything with us. Okay, we gotta get our boxes into the trailer.
Okay. Okay, everybody stand back.
Yeah, stand back while I get the. Let me get it down. Pack the trailer. Pack it in there. It's almost full.
We got all of our furniture and the doors
Yeah, we got everything.
and bags.
What do you think Abraham would have used to move?
Oh yeah, he just took everything.
Yeah, he took everything too, but what
He
did
took everything, even the ground.
What do you think he used to move? Do you think he had a trailer like this?
No. He
No.
had his. They weren't made back then.
You think
he
he
had God?
He had camels,
Yep.
maybe wagons, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, and then he loaded everything up and he obeyed God and he moved away. Just like we're going to do.
Why do we gotta move away?
Well, if God tells you to move, you move. And that's what Abraham did. Good to go. Push in, push in, down. Got it. Hi kids, remember last week's lesson about Noah? That showed us that God keeps his promises. Remember the rainbow? That's a sign we still see today that reminds us of God's promises. Today we're going to talk about something else God gives us to remind us of his promises. This story begins with a man named Abram. Abram was a descendant of Seth, one of Noah's sons. He was 75 years old when our story begins. Do you know anybody that old? Do you think you could still do a lot of things when you were that old? I'm not sure. At 75, people are starting to slow down a little bit. But when Abram was 75 years old, God told him something. He told him to pack up everything and move. What do you think Abram thought? I bet he thought, whoa, that's a pretty big job. Not sure if I can do that, God. But he did obey God. He packed up everything and he moved. Our story begins in Genesis 12, chapter 1 through 3. Now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. What do you think Abram thought when he heard that? We read this story in the Bible, but Abram was actually hearing God's voice. Abram was a very rich man. He had a lot of things to move, but he was lacking one thing. He was lacking an heir. Do you know what an heir is? That means he had no child. God told Abram something else. In Genesis chapter 15:5, it says, And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now towards the heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto them, So shall thy seed be. And Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of the Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit it. So God was reminding Abram, remember? I gave you this land. Remember when I told you to move? I gave you this land. God is able to tell Abram about his future. He also reminds Abram about his past and how God has been faithful in the past for him. But this is about his future, and Abram is believing him, but it's taking a very long time. In Genesis chapter 17, it talks about God coming to Abram again. It says this, And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram, and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make thy covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. Abram was scared. He fell on his face and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for the father of many nations I have made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of these, and kings will come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and thy seed after thee. Whoa, can you imagine how Abraham must feel? Even kings were going to come out of his line? That's amazing, isn't it? When Abraham was 100 years old, God promised him a son with his wife Sarah. They both thought that was pretty funny. How does somebody 100 years old have a child? Well, just as God promised, Abraham did have a son with Sarah, and they named him Isaac. And Isaac had a son, and they named him Jacob. And Jacob had 12 sons. 12! God changed Jacob's name too. He changed Jacob's name to Israel. The 12 sons of Jacob became the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel make up God's nation. God's special people, Israel, would help God rule the earth. God said a Redeemer would come from the tribe of Judah. We'll see in our story at Christmas that God was keeping his promises. Next time you go outside at night, remember God's promises to Abraham. His descendants would be more than he could even imagine. You can try counting stars, but I bet you can't do it. That's how much God cares for us, more than we can ever imagine. Have a great week, kids. Bye.